She's a communist, and she has been part of all these structure, criminal structure, that has put in place not only to destroy Venezuela, but to harm the rest of the hemisphere, including the United States. She's absolutely someone that that's close, as I have to say, to Russia, to Iran, to China. And that's where her, her loyalty is.
Right. That was Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado in an interview with me just this past week. She told me why she believes interim Venezuelan leader Delcy Rodriguez is a danger. And as the AP, she says that as the AP obtains documents that claiming, quote, the DEA has amassed a detailed intelligence file on Rodriguez dating back to at least 2018, cataloging her known associates and allegations ranging from drug trafficking to gold smuggling. Rodriguez's name has surfaced in nearly a dozen DEA investigations, several of which remain ongoing. Our next guest used to run the DEA's office in Venezuela. He's retired Special Agent Wes Tabor, and he joins us now. Welcome, Wes. It's great to have you on. It's very clear that the administration has learned from the past in these sorts of operations and is taking this step by step. And in this step that we're in right now, they're looking for stability. Do you think accountability is down the road, or is it better just to get to an election and, let it be done with?
We have to be careful, right? We don't know the veracity of the documents that were,
Sure.
Allegedly referred to, in this report from the AP. So, I'm speaking about my personal information that I have now when I was a DEA agent, because I have sources in country, right? So, and we talked a couple weeks ago on this before. But when you're talking about accountability, right now it's more important for the administration to bundle up, get in there, load our people in, make sure we stabilize that country. Because, listen, we could go pull everyone out we could, like you referred to before. We did this in Iraq, we did this in other places, and we had a total collapse. And we can't have that this time. It's critical. It's in our hemisphere. We have to get it right.
Yeah, it seems like the administration knows exactly who she is, who they're dealing with. But there are worse people. There's Diosdado Cabello, who is one of the people right now putting out shock troops and still terrorizing the population as we speak, if they show any sort of sympathy towards what has happened with Nicolas Maduro. And there's a bounty on his head for $25 million. Is that where the focus should be, or do you think the administration is just not going to do anything beyond what they've done with Maduro?
Oh, they're going to do more. It's going to happen. But right now, the priority is let's get in there, stabilize everything we got. And listen, there's 6 or 7 more of these high-level people that we have to indict, as well. And the ones that are indicted with these high bounties on their head, that just doesn't evaporate, because, we have to stabilize things. I think eventually there will be accountability. There could be some kind of deals behind the scenes that we just don't know about.
Sure.
In order to guarantee that stability and transition. And in that case, I would have to say there would have to be, some really, really high-end stakes going on where things are really delivered to us, and that would be considering things with terrorism, things with all these non-state actors, things with Trinidad Agua, Iran, China, and things like that. So gleaning that information would be absolutely enormous for our intel community and law.
Very quickly, Wes, have you been impressed with just how smartly she's sort of navigated these very dangerous days for her, having her boss taken away like that and her being put in charge in this interim government?
I consider her a feckless leader by all standards. But then again, her intelligence level as far as being able to navigate not being killed in country, because remember, we have a real power struggle between Diosdado Cabello and the other powers there. You have Padrino with the military, Diosdado with the intelligence and the police on the ground, and they wanted to be the president, right? So you don't only have U.S. factors in this where she has to negotiate her way out, but then the internal struggles as well. And she's done a pretty good job. But then again, our intel people, our law enforcement people, and Rubio has done a fantastic job. They've gone in there and they've made it easy for her. They've showed her the path. All she has to do is take it.
Yeah, fascinating. She also has blood on her hands. She has a lot of human rights abuses to her name, as well as all the corruption and DEA issues that we talked about. Wes Tabor, great conversation. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Got it.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.